What is going on, guys? It is Tom or Topson Wrestling, and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Today we are taking on a hard task, and that task we are taking on is ranking every TNA / Impact Knockouts / Women's Champion. There have been 24 different Knockouts champions across TNA and Impact Wrestling. We're going to rank them from worst to best. Before we do get into it though, make sure to subscribe with notifications on, because only a small percentage of you watching these videos are actually subscribed. But anyway, before we get into it once again, I want to say this list is so incredibly subjective. I highly doubt that any one of you watching has the exact same list as mine, so all I ask is that you don't go crying in the comments that your favourite got ranked bottom, or this person was too low, or this person was too high. And like I said, if your favourite gets ranked bottom, so sorry to all the Jessica Havoc fans in advance. But yeah, let's get into it.
Greetings and salutations. This is Almighty Christopher Daniels, sometimes known as the Fallen Angel, but always known as the greatest wrestler in the world. Your mom's favorite wrestler, your dad's favorite wrestler, the world's favorite wrestler. I'm also a paragon of virtue, an inspiration to children everywhere, and the man with the rear that makes the girls cheer. And while you're watching me, I'm telling you, you're also watching Top 10 Wrestling, so congratulations.
Number 24, Jessica Havoc. Yeah, I did kind of spoil it at the start. Havoc had one Knockouts title reign in TNA, and it was really nothing to run home about. When Havoc came into TNA, it was actually really exciting. She came in, attacked people. In her first pay-per-view match, she won a number one contenders battle royal, then went on to win the Knockouts title. But then she lost it after about 3 weeks to Taryn Terrell. And you can't even count it as 3 weeks because Impact was taped at the time. She technically lost the title after only 3 days. And this was her only Knockouts title reign. I think Havoc deserved a lot better. As a fan of her, I wouldn't want to put her bottom of the list, but you kind of just have to. Number 23, Winter. We all know how weird the run of Winter was in TNA. Not only was she a Knockouts Tag Champion with Angelina Love, but she would actually have 2 reigns with the TNA Knockouts title, both of which didn't really end so well for her, as she lost both those titles on her first defense. First off, she won the title at Hardcore Justice 2011 before losing it 18 days later to Mickie James on Impact Wrestling, but then at the next pay-per-view No Surrender, she won it back, before then losing it at the next pay-per-view to Velvet Sky, and then never winning the title again. And those were Winter's 2 reigns of the Knockouts title. Really quite nothing. Number 22, Maria Kanellis. Maria Kanellis won the TNA Knockouts title once, and Maria Kanellis was never really known for her in-ring ability. She was mainly known for being a manager, but when she did win the Knockouts title, it was kind of cool because, you know, she's a well-known name. She won the title on the September 1st, 2016 Impact Wrestling episode when she made her partner, Ali, who was the champion, lay down for her. So already the way she's winning it, isn't that amazing? And then she would lose it after just 1 month to Gail Kim. The only reason it's higher than Winter and Havoc is because, you know, at least it was all part of a storyline with Ali, why she won the title in the first place, whereas with Winter and Havoc, their reigns kind of felt just a bit needless for how they weren't given any opportunity whatsoever to do anything with the titles, but at least this one was to further a storyline. Number 21, Jade. Jade, now known as Mia Yim in NXT, who is very, very good at what she does, was once upon a time the TNA Knockouts champion in 2016. Now, for me, 2016 was not really a great time for Impact in general. There was lots of like short title reigns, and I think Jade is someone who kind of fell victim to that. Being a very good wrestler, she deserved a lot better than it, in my opinion. She won it on the April 5th, 2016 episode of Impact before losing it at Slammiversary. It was only like a 2-month-long reign. I think a lot more could have been done with Jade, and it's just something that wasn't really too memorable for me. Like, I don't remember much from Jade's title reign. However, I know that she was capable of a lot more if Impact had given her the chance. I feel like that's the story of a lot of people on this list. Number 20, Velvet Sky. When you look at the main 3 Beautiful People members, aka Angelina, Madison, and Velvet, Velvet probably ranks the lowest in terms of in-ring ability, which is why it was kind of surprising when she was given a reign at the TNA Knockouts title. She had 2 reigns. First off, she beat Winter to win it at Bound for Glory, but only held it for 28 days, losing it at the very next pay-per-view. TNA really loves doing that, but she would win it once more in my hometown, well not my hometown, but my home country of England on February 21st, 2013, and she would have about a 3-month long reign before losing the title to Mickie James. It wasn't like a bad reign, it wasn't a good reign either, it was just a title reign, but yeah, there's nothing really memorable in terms of match quality and whatnot, but you know what, good on Velvet, good on her. Number 19, Jordynne Grace. This one hurt to put here because this one wasn't even Jordynne Grace's fault. In fact, it wasn't even Impact's fault. It was the pandemic's fault. Jordynne Grace won the title on the February 11th, 2020 episode of Impact, and we kind of all know what would happen in the next month and a half. We go into lockdown. Luckily, Impact had taped episodes, so she did have a couple of defenses. First of all, she defended against Havoc at Sacrifice, and then she started doing an open challenge for the Knockouts title, which saw her defeat Miranda Elise and Lacey Ryan on 2 different episodes of Impact. But then from there, the pandemic obviously happened, so they couldn't tape anymore, and Jordynne Grace was off TV. And her next title defense wouldn't be until Slammiversary, when she then would lose the title to Deonna Purrazzo. So it's a shame, she really only had about 1 or 2 months with the title, and I feel like she could have done so much more, but like I said, neither Impact or hers fault. Number 18, Ali. The woman we now know as the Bunny in AEW today had 2 reigns with the Knockouts title. Her first one, as mentioned before, she won the title, and then literally a week later, she was forced to lay down for Maria Kanellis, so she only had a 1-week reign with the title. But her second reign, she would win it on January 12th, 2018, and hold it all the way until April 24th, 2018, when she would face Su Yung and lose the title there. It was a decent reign, not too much happened. Like I said, it was only like a 3-month one, but either way, still good stuff from Ali. And then a year later, she would be killed off. So yeah, that happened. Number 17, Brooke Tessmacher. Brooke Tessmacher is a 3-time TNA Knockouts champion. However, the issue within Brooke Tessmacher's title reigns is that, well, she had 3 title reigns, but they only totaled to 156 days, which is approximately 5 months. You divide that by 3 reigns, you're looking at an average of 1.5 months per reign, which Brooke deserved a lot better then, because Brooke was very good. The issue is, at the times when Brooke was the champion, it was kind of a good era for the TNA Knockouts. There was so many talents around. There was Tara, Gail Kim, ODB, Mickie James, The Beautiful People, and it would be people like Madison Rayne, Tara, and Gail Kim who she would lose the titles to, and it's something that you can't really, I don't know, it's kind of hard because those people are so good, like all of them are so good, and it was, I get it because it was a really good era for the TNA Knockout, so it was probably difficult to commit to like a long-term champion with so many great women on the roster. Number 16, Sienna. Sienna, or Allysin Kay as she is commonly known as, is absolutely incredible, one of my favourite women's wrestlers of all time, and I'm really glad that she got to have 2 reigns in TNA as the Knockouts champion. Her first one came when she won the title at Slammiversary before losing the title to Ali in about 2 months later, so it was just a fine little reign. I'm glad she won it at Slammiversary though. The way she won it was very good, winning it at a major pay-per-view. But her second reign was quite an important one, as she was in a unification match at the next year's Slammiversary, because at the time she was the GFW Women's Champion and Rosemary was the Impact Knockouts Champion, so they had a unification match and Sienna won the title. Now this was pretty big because Sienna has effectively been chosen to be the lead woman for this GFW Impact merger. However, the GFW Impact merger kind of fell to crap, and at first when she won the title was renamed to the GFW Knockouts Championship, but then it was renamed back to the Impact Knockouts Championship, and I think just for the fact that she had to reign during this awful GFW merger, she can't really rank too high, but her reign was very good. It was about 6 months long. She held it all the way until Bound for Glory, and I wish I could put it higher, but I think it's mainly just a GFW thing that has to stop me. But still a very good reign. It just had to unfortunately be really complicated, and her reign be made really complicated by the GFW merger. Number 15, Laurel Van Ness. Laurel Van Ness had one title reign and it only lasted 65 days, but the reason I put it, higher on this list because the Laurel Van Ness character was just amazing. Laurel was doing really great stuff and it was a really compelling title reign to watch. It was simply put short and sweet. There was nothing more to it. It wasn't this long drawn out title reign. It wasn't this short title reign that only lasted a week. It was 2 months, which isn't too long in the grand scheme of things, but Laurel Van Ness was a great character and her walking about with a Knockouts title was just really fun. Number 14, Su Yung. On the topic of really compelling characters, Su Yung. Su Yung has had 2 reigns with the Impact Knockouts title, the first coming at Impact Under Pressure, airing on May 31st, 2018, where she won a last rights match against Ali. I didn't even know this match happened. That is so damn awesome, and she would lose the title to Tessa Blanchard after having about a 110-day long reign, which is a really solid reign. Her second reign was not really anything to run home about. She won the title from Deonna Purrazzo at Bound for Glory in a very questionable decision, something that I very much was against her winning it, and she only held the title for 3 weeks, losing it at Turning Point, the very next event. Number 13, Rosemary. We're going on a little theme here where we're going for these crazy undead zombie characters right now. Rosemary won the TNA Knockouts title once and she held the title for nearly a year. Over 266 days is how long that she held this title for, but if you minus about 30 days off for the tape delay, still over 200 days is a very solid reign. As I said, she was involved in the unification match with Sienna, which Sienna did go over in, but a reign as long as this is amazing, really good, especially during this era where we were seeing champions who lasted a week, a month. For Rosemary to be the champion for over 6 months is really awesome. Number 12, we hit the midway point and it's Mickie James. Mickie James was a 3-time Knockouts champion and we have quite a mixed bag of title reigns here. First of all, she won it at Lockdown 2011 and held it for over 112 days, which is decent, about a 4-month long reign. However, her second reign would last 10 days, so there's that. But then her third reign would last 112 days once again. I didn't even realize it lasted the exact same amount of time. So yeah, she overall had 2 solid reigns and 1 reign that wasn't anything to rave over at all, but no fault of her own really. TNA loved their short title reigns. Number 11, Taryn Terrell. Taryn Terrell, who you might remember as Tiffany in WWE, she really went nowhere in the WWE. She was kind of a jobber woman, but when she went to TNA, she was incredible. Like, we had never seen this before on WWE, and many of us were shocked by how good she was. She only had 1 TNA Knockouts title reign and it lasted 279 days, and it was a very good reign because it came during an era where she first of all beat Havoc, who at the time, she came in very dominant. She beat the dominant Havoc, and then she was against the likes of Gail Kim, Brooke. Awesome Kong was around during this era and she beat Awesome Kong, so she had a really good reign and beat a lot of great people. And at one point, her reign was the longest reign in TNA Knockouts Championship history. Number 10, Tara. Tara was a 5-time TNA Knockouts champion, which is the 3rd tied most reigns for the title. However, we see the problem with her title reign as 5 reigns, but only totaling to 222 days. And you bring that down, you're approximately looking at 40 days per title reign, which is really not great. Her first reign lasted 24 days, her second reign lasted 15 days, her third reign lasted 78 days, and this reign was actually decent because she defended against ODB, Daphne in some good matches. However, then she lost it in the awful Lockbox Challenge. Her fourth reign lasted 1 day as she lost it the very next Impact as Madison Rayne made her lay down. But then her fifth reign was a good one, 104 days, and it was really fun as she got to feud with ODB and Eric Young alongside Jesse Goddard, and it was just a really fun reign, and I think that reign puts it up to the 10th spot on this list. If that reign wasn't there, she would probably be a lot lower. However, Tara, for that reign, was a very good Knockouts champion, and she was a great knockout in general who deserved a lot better. Number 9, Madison Rayne. Madison Rayne was a 5-time, I'm not doing it again, TNA Knockouts champion with a combined days of 404, making her the second longest in terms of combined days behind the number 1 on this list. You can probably guess already. But Madison Rayne's title reign, or her reigns even, it was just that Madison Rayne in general was never known for her incredible ring work. I think she's a pioneer of the Knockouts division, but I can't remember too many of the matches she actually had while she was the champion. But the fact is, she led the women's division, she was a pioneer for the Knockouts division, and I have to give her credit for that. So big ups to Madison Rayne. Number 8, Deonna Purrazzo. The virtuosa and current and 2-time Impact Knockouts champion has had a very good reign given all the circumstances in the world today. First of all, she won it against Jordynne Grace at Slammiversary in a Match of the Year contender, such an awesome match, and then went on to defend it against Jordynne Grace in the first ever Impact Iron Woman match. Such an awesome match, the two did great. She would lose it to Su Yung, but then she'd win it back at Turning Point in a hardcore no disqualification match. Again, an awesome match. And since then, she's gone on to defend it against the likes of Rosemary, Taya Valkyrie in Taya Valkyrie's final Impact match, ODB, and Jazz. So she's got a whole mixed bag of opponents. She's got top women like Taya and Rosemary, and legends like ODB and Jazz, who she has defeated, and she has done absolutely fantastic. And I think if Deonna Purrazzo holds the title for any longer, she's only got room to go higher on this list if I was to ever make an updated version in like 5 years' time. Number 7, ODB. ODB is a 4-time Knockouts champion and just a legend of TNA and the Knockouts division. One of the pioneers of the Knockouts division, no doubt. And she had some really fun reigns with her feuds with the likes of Tara and Awesome Kong and Gail Kim. And she was around during 2008 when the Knockouts division first kind of started and was really hitting a stride, when it was her, Awesome Kong, Gail Kim, and Taylor Wilde just killing it week in and week out. ODB, no doubt one of the greatest TNA knockouts of all time, and a pretty damn good champion too. Number 6, Tessa Blanchard. Tessa Blanchard had one reign with the Impact Knockouts title, lasting 147 days. And when Tessa was the champion, the fact is that she was one of the top women in the world in wrestling. In fact, pretty much the only reason she really lost the title is because she was going to exit the women's division and wrestle with the men's division, where she would obviously go on to become the world champion, which was insane. Obviously unrelated to her women's title reign, but her Knockouts title reign was still amazing. It's when I actually became a fan of her, just seeing how good her matches were. And yeah, Tessa comes at number 6 on this list. Top 5 time, coming in at number 5 is Taylor Wilde. Taylor Wilde was a 1-time Knockouts champion, and she was the 3rd ever Knockouts champion, and it was during a time in the Knockouts division in 2008 where it was just in such a great place. You had her, Kong, Angelina Love, ODB, and just a really great time for the Knockouts division. And she was notably the one who defeated Awesome Kong, and she became known as the underdog of the Knockouts division. So immediately the way she's won the title was absolutely incredible, and she had a really fun reign, and she would ultimately lose it back to Kong, but she had a 121 day long reign. And yeah, really good stuff from Taylor Wilde, and I can't wait for her to return soon. Number 4, Angelina Love. Angelina Love, in my opinion, was the best member of the Beautiful People, and based on this list, the best champion of the Beautiful People. She was a 6-time Knockouts champion, totaling to 226 days. She was the 4th ever TNA Knockouts champion, and in general, she had some great feuds with likes of Tara, Awesome Kong, Gail Kim, Taylor Wilde. What really separates Angelina is that she faced everyone. She was there while Gail Kim was there, while Awesome Kong was there, while Tara was there, while ODB was there. She faced everyone for the title and feuded with everyone for the title. Number 3, Taya Valkyrie. Taya Valkyrie had one Knockouts title reign, but the one that she did have lasted 377 days and is the longest TNA Knockouts title reign of all time. And it was a really great reign as well. In fact, she beat pretty much everyone. I mean, there were times where I was really like, okay, she'll lose to this person. Okay, she'll lose to this person. I pretty much betted against her almost every single time, but she always came out on top. She beat pretty much everyone on the roster to keep that title until Jordynne Grace eventually did it in 2020. Number 2, Awesome Kong. I've already talked about her a lot on this list, but Awesome Kong truly was not just a pioneer of TNA women's wrestling, but women's wrestling as a whole. There was no one doing it like Awesome Kong when she was around. A 2-time Knockouts champion, totaling to 347 days as the champion. Can't say enough good things about that initial first feud with Gail Kim. They were getting the highest rated segments on Impact, having killer match after killer match. Just what an amazing era that was when those two were going at it. It was such a good time. Then the matches with Taylor Wilde and then there's also the matches with Taylor Wilde, ODB. What a match she had with ODB in 2008. The Beautiful People, she faced the very best of the Knockouts division, and she bested the very best of the Knockouts division to stay champion, and what a champion she was. But number 1 on this list is undoubtedly Gail Kim. End of the day, the top 2 was always going to be Kong or Kim. They are the 2 greatest TNA knockouts of all time. I just talked about how good their feud was, but Gail Kim in particular, 7 title reigns, the most title reigns of any knockout, 711 combined days, the most combined days, and she literally faced everyone. She was around in 2008 during the era of Kong, Taylor Wilde, The Beautiful People, ODB, and then when she came back in 2011, she was around for the likes of Tara and Brooke and Madison Rayne and Mickie James, and she would stay all the way until 2016 when she had her final 7th reign, where she was with the likes of Sienna and Taryn Terrell and Havoc and Maria Kanellis and Ali. She quite literally faced everyone. She was there during the entire, every era of TNA women's wrestling she was there for. And no doubt she's the greatest TNA Knockouts champion of all time. So that's been it for this video, probably my longest video in a very, very long time. I can't remember the last time I went above 12 minutes in a video, but here we are. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you agree with and disagree with in a respectful manner in the comments. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, my podcast, my second channel, all links down below. I'll see you all soon. Goodbye and keep on rolling.